everyone. My name is Well, and let's go and learn about animal groups. Okay, animal groups? What are those groups? Well, let me tell you about it. Well, animal groups, animal can divide into groups. Well, each groups there are different, like fish and mammals. Mammals are on land, right? Well, instead of fish, it's being in the water, swimming happily. Well, kind of like that, though. And also sometimes all these groups are being all the same together. Kind of like that, though. All these groups eats, all of them drink. I don't know if an octopus drink. It's already in the water. And I don't think a fish don't drink because it all also live in the water already. Well, we do all breathe, and sometimes we do kind of like moving. I think I can only think of that though. So that's it. So okay, let's go into learn about each groups of these animal groups. Okay, let's start with the amphibians. Amphibians, huh? Well, first let's just separate. I think you're gonna say, what? Separate what? We're already separate into these lines, kind of like that. But the separate is vibrates and invibrates. Do you even remember that? Okay, let me tell back about you. Let me tell back about it. Vibrate and invibrate. Yeah, okay? Vibrates or an animal who likes us, amphibians, birds, fish, mammals, and some reptiles. All of them are vibrates. That's because we got bones. Bones, the heartbeat, the thing that moves your body. And of course. And these are invibrate. I can't write all of them. I'm sorry. Well, this octopus look like it got some bones. Well, instead it got bones. It don't got any bones. And all the tentacles are looking wiggly and wiggly. So, it do know to move, but it doesn't got any bones. So sometimes octopus, okay, let's include it. This animal doesn't got any bones, so its name is invibrates. Yeah, remember that now? Good. So we have been separate this. Let's learn about this. Well, in amphibians, it's kind of like a frog or toads. It's our two species that are amphibians. You know it? Good. Well, these amphibians all live in water, eat insects, which are we're carnivores, and also they do something like ribbit. Let's call it just a sound of them. Well, a toad and a frog do the same kind of like that, I think. I don't really remember them all. So next let's learn about birds. Well, you already know a bird got wings and feathers. The feathers help them to fly, and their wings do need feathers so they can fly. Isn't that correct? Well, a bird's got a thing. It doesn't like other animals. A bird, when it's ready to hatch, so it's gonna build a nest, which you can call it their home. Okay? Well, instead, all the other just find a safe place and then hatch out their animals. Or as this one, we can call it lays out an animal. Isn't that perfect? And also all these animals doesn't got feathers like the birds. Well, fish. I saw that some kind of fish that can fly too, but it can only fly a little and really short time. Okay. Well, I think its name is called dragonfish. I just know that. I doesn't really know his name though. So sometimes fish can fly, but just a type of species, okay? I mostly saw birds fly though, and a lot. Some birds are omnivores, which like us. Some eat seeds and some eat bugs. Don't you know that? If you know that, you are smart. Well, mostly people know that, I know. Okay, what about fish? Fish, as I said, some kind of species, they can fly. But mostly fish got a kind of like a hard skin. But they're not reptiles, they're fish. Hard plates on them. Kind of like these plates. Well, they're called something. Let me try to remember that. Oh, I know. They're scales. There's scales on the fish. Well, and also their fins doesn't got any scales, but these fins do help a fish to fly. And kind of like us though, the fins are kind of like arms to help a fish to swim, and the tail is just like our feet. The fish move like this, kind of like, as I see, it's kind of like wiggling their fin, but mostly I see they're wiggling their feet. So kind of like you're swimming with your feet is paddling, kind of like that though. Don't you feel they are similar? Isn't it? Just a little pretend that you can feel them. They are kind of like similarity. And also fish are also omnivores just like us. Some fish eat algae, which are herbivores, and some eat meat, which are sharks or whales or anything else. And they are carnivores, but sometimes fish do eat algae and eat smaller fish or any fish that they can eat. So there can be an omnivore too. What about the animals? Okay, the mammals of these, which are us. I'm a mammal who are staring right in front of you, isn't it? Well, the mammals, mostly mammals got fur or hair. Yeah, if you see closely, you are going to see your hair is on your arm and on your leg. Well, you don't really have to see that. It's already on your head though. And mammals, one thing is there are hot-blooded, which are us. I'm hot-blooded, but I've got a thing. The first thing that I heard from hot-blooded animal, I am feeling like we're gonna be like hot forever. I know that. I don't really remember it. Okay, this is about reptiles. And I think you're gonna ask, what are I drawing? A slug isn't a reptile. Well, snake. Well, this space is too small for me to draw a snake, so I can only draw this. I said to you one thing. If you see their eyes and their mouth, you got a really good eyesight because I draw them really tiny though. Well, reptiles is a cold-blooded. Well, I heard a thing from there. A cold-blooded, huh? Well, I do heard that cold-blooded will need to be warmed up by the sun before they moves. Is that correct or something? Well, reptiles are different from mammals. We're both animals, but reptiles doesn't got fur or hair on their body, but instead they got scales, kind of like a fish, huh? Or sometimes they got okay. I give up from these skins. And also the one thing is they don't lay out the full animal. But instead they lay out an egg. And then soon the egg will crack up and they can sell their babies. But not like the mammals. They born out all the baby. Don't need any eggs. Because they're mammals. Let's think. If your mom is a mammal, then if she borns you, you will stay in egg? Well, that's not true. You're all out without an egg or anything. Of course it is. And now, let's learn about this. Invertebrate, huh? Sometimes invertebrates are in the oceans, like jellyfish and an octopus I'm drawing. And sometimes it can be on land too, which kind of like are slugs or snail. And do you ever think of an invertebrate in the sky? In the sky? No, we do. We never got one in the sky. Mostly in the sky are birds, well, or planes. Well, we don't talk about planes right now because planes doesn't need any food. Well, it only need oil or some kind of black liquidy. I don't know. Oh wow. And let's talk. Okay, let's just say an invertebrate. Sometimes it can be an omnivore, which are eating algae or seaweed. Do you eat seaweed? Or sometimes it can be carnivores too, kind of like worms. Do you remember a guy called a worm? No people call worms. Let's say a guy is kind of like animal. A worm is also an invertebrate, which doesn't got any bones. Yeah, remember bones? Yeah. So a worm is also an invertebrate, and it's also a carnivore. Do you ever heard of a snail eating other snails? Yeah, I do. Well, in conclusion, all these animals can be omnivores, herbivores, and also carnivores. Wait, amphibians. I never heard of frog eating lettuces. Well, I'm sorry. Only these amphibians cannot be a herbivore. I'm sorry. They can only eat both, I believe. Tell me if sometime I can got a chance to win. Please tell me. It's a lettuce guy. And goodbye. Don't wait. got a surprise for ya. It's my time for question time. Okay, tell me the question.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question. Um, I have a dog, so could you please put the dog into category in the animal groups that you have provided?
Sure, I love to help you. Well, a dog, it got fur just like us. Well, and a dog is also hot-blooded. So, it will be perfect if it fit in the mammals, though. So, do you need to say anything else?
And I know in the sea there are many whales. So could you categorize the whale into animal groups?
Of course, I do love to help too. Well, the whale is still a mammal, but of course, a whale is a mammal, so it will fit in here. But one special thing is it lives in the sea. Well, sometimes a whale comes into the surface and breathes some air, which they use their lungs. Well, the fish use their special organs called gills to breathe. Well, the whales don't. Try to look at the whale. Do you see any gills at them? No. So their nose is on their head, which they call a blowhole. Sometimes I mostly see a blowhole from a whale shoots out water. Well, I do use lungs, so I will fit it in the mammals. Do you got anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go a real surprise for y'all. A little game. Well, I bring out this. I was just bringing out this little dry clay, I think. Well, it's really perfect. This is our little game. Throw it and do it. I named that on myself, Bo. Let's see how I do it. I stand on here and then I throw. Well, the good thing is it hit the birds. So what do? Of course, and I hit any animals up here, I need to act like one of the animals. So I got a bird. So let's see. Oh, how about an eagle? I can only act like it, but I don't really know how to squawk like an eagle. Well, kind of like flying up high and keeping your wings up and then dive in the sky. I can only do like that though. Well, I don't really know how to do anything else, so thank you for reacting this. Goodbye. Hope you learn some more new things.